Good morning, everybody, and happy Friday. Gosh, how is it that we are on Friday already? How is it the end of the week? Where is the week going, and where is the year going? We're nearly at the end of November, which is just wow. Where's it all gone? So let's have a little hello. Come in, say hi. Let me know how your day's going so far, and of course, let me know your weather check whatsoever, like where you are. I am in a fresh, should we describe it as a fresh Bristol? It's not as cold as it was yesterday, but it is definitely, there's a bite to the air still. Oh, let me just see. I don't think we're going live into Facebook, so give me one moment while I fix that. I do apologise for the barking. Let me just go into Facebook. Do apologise for the dogs. Right, there we go. Hopefully we're going into Facebook now. It seems that I'd been technical hitch and had been blocked out. Okay, so good morning, Rachel from a wet barrow. It's not raining here, it's just cold, but it's not the winter cold yet. It's in the nice fresh cold. I do apologise for the dogs barking. Somebody has walked past the front window and it has set them off. I am now on Facebook, so hopefully we should be joined by some other people as well. So I apologise for that. I didn't realise it hadn't linked. But yes, so we'll have to have a word with them in a minute. Benny! Okay, I have I'll just give it a little moment for everybody to come in because obviously we were a little tiny bit behind, not realising we weren't on Facebook. I do have a nice coffee. Happy Friday. Right. So I have really lovely kits today. We are doing chainmail today. But these kits I just love because we have some really cool jump rings today. Really cool. So I'm really excited to work with these. And I just saw these when I went and visited the warehouse and was like, I need those. I know exactly what I could do with them. I need those. And I love this project for today. Good morning, Jan. Jan says, I'll just pop a few hellos on. Jan says, good morning, Laura, and everyone from a dull Sudbury. Oh, everyone's coming through now. Camille, good morning, Laura. And the pups. How did you know? They're definitely awake this morning, aren't they? Being noisy little things. Good morning from Mina. How are you? Good morning from Carol. And good morning, of course, from the lovely Sheila. And we've got Angela. Good morning, Laura. Watching whilst out walking the dogs, and it's cold and windy. Yeah, well, lovely. I love that. I love that you're watching whilst you're walking the dogs. That's absolutely great. Oh no, Mina's tea went cold this morning. That's never great. This is one of the culprits just here. You can see his nose. Come here. This, you heard that really loud barking. You can just see his nose. This is Benny. He is my three-legged lurcher. And he's currently doing this face because he wants me to scratch his ear because this is the side that he's only got one leg on. So yeah, so that is the culprit of the noise. I can't get the camera any lower to show you his face. Yeah. Right, off you go, Benny. So let's go ahead. So what happens is they have like a chain, and one will start in the front room and it sets them all off. So I think they're done now. Okay, let's have a little look at this project that we do have today. As I said, really excited for this project. We just put my other camera on. It's always helpful, isn't it? Okie dokie. So let me show you what we have today for our project. We have the classic Helm's bracelet. So I've got the Helm's weave. Oh, Savannah. It's Savannah. Camille, it's Savannah causing that trouble today. She's in the window. I can hear her waffing. We have these beautiful crystal squares in 3 different kind of colorways. I just love them all. And we have these large textured jump rings. Hang on, let's see if I can get the camera to focus. I mean, look at these. Are these not perfect for the Helm sleeve? How gorgeous are they? And do you know what? Helm sleeve, can you hear her? Woof, woof. That is exactly how she barks. Whereas Benny is a very typical. Right, I will have to go. I will have a word with them in a minute. Benny is a very typical bark dog, and Savs is a very typical woof. Right, enough now. So yeah, you can see here how gorgeous are these jump rings. They are so beautiful. I've used, I just thought they were perfect. A little bit of sparkly textured jump rings in with these gorgeous square crystals. I thought that was a perfect combination myself. And of course, we do have them in the silver. So it is the large jump rings that are textured, not the small ones. So you get that lovely mix of textured and plain as well, which I adore. Now, you could, of course, do a Mobius with these. You could do anything, but how lovely are these jump rings? Absolutely perfect for the project. So you do have the silver. And, ooh, shall I mix metal? I am going to mix metal it for the demonstration. They're so beautiful. And I just saw them and was like, I need these. And right, Joanne, how gorgeous are they? So Joanne said she needs those in her stash. When I saw them, I thought, oh, they're going to be soldered. You're going to have to like work around them. And I was like fully up for that challenge. And then I was like, no, they're open. So perfect. Are they strong like the normal ones? So strong. If anything, I'm going to just pop this one up. That's a really great question, Camille. So Camille says, lovely jump rings. Are they strong like the normal ones? And that's a really fantastic question. Because they've been textured, because they've had a process done to them to create that lovely texture onto them. If anything, they're stronger. They're stronger than your standard jump ring. They are the same gauge, so they are a thicker gauge. I think they're a 1 mil. If you ever want to focus for me, camera, I will get the jump rings out individually, but you can see there you've got that lovely depth there, a thick jump ring. I think they're a 1 mil and they've been textured, therefore they are going to have that extra strength to them as well. So you've got these as your bracelets. So as I said, you've got different color crystal squares that you can kind of add to them. So we're going to go over to the website now and have a little look at these kits. So let me just bring the page up. Oops. Right, I don't want to jinx us, but I think that they're settling down now. Noisy little poppers today. Right, so let me just get the page. Oh, where did you go? We'll do it this way then if you want to play that game. My computer's like, I should challenge you this morning. And I'm like, I shall win. Right, let me just, there we go. Okay, so, oh, good morning, Elaine. Oh, don't worry. It's lovely that you've joined us, Lane. Sorry, I'm a bit late, but you're not late. And let me just get the camera here to focus because that was having a moment. So let's go over and have a look. As always, we're going over to totallybeads.co.uk. Wait for it. Amazing. And then we're going to go down to our video tutorials. As always, check out our social media. We've got a YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and of course Kitty's channel. And then if we have a little look down, you will see, so you'll see a mix of past and current projects, which is great. You have the Helm Square Crystal Bracelet. Okay, so Joanne says, are they twisted or hammered? From the angle you showed, they look twisted. So lovely. Let me just put, I'm going to have a word. Bear with it. Right, you're going to need to leave. I'm going to shout at them in a minute. I am going to shout at them. So I'm going to answer these questions for you all in a moment. So I can see your questions. Are they twisted or hammered? Obviously, I'm going to show up close in a moment, but I believe them to be hammered. They're like a textured hammer. So I will show you them individually in a moment. Camille, love the jump rings and the crystals. Elaine says she Mobius them. They're lovely, but it's a job to see the join in between them 100%. And that's where I go back to what I said initially I initially thought, oh, these are soldered. So I'm going to have to work a chainmail because I was determined to use them. And I was thinking I'm going to have to look at a chainmail design where, these become the closed component. And then I opened them and I was like, oh, wow. so many options. So let's go back over to the website. Sorry, you've got your Helm square. So this will be the video that we're doing right now. And of course, you have your different color variations. So you have got your, let's just have a look. Oh, wow. So they're £5.50. £5.50 for the kit to be able to make this bracelet. So, I mean, you're not going to charge £5.50 for this if you're selling this. I mean, what a beautiful bracelet, gift to give. You know, putting it if you're doing Christmas stalls, these are going to be ideal. Imagine you're going out on your Christmas party and you've got this as your lovely sparkly bracelet. I do apologize, I have a little bit of a sore throat coming. Let's go ahead and have a look. So let's have a look at the first one that we have here. You have your it makes one bracelet. So it says here you get your etched jump rings. So they're kind of etched, they are textured with an etching effect. You get so you get your large etched jump rings. You get some smaller plain. I'm just looking at the size of them, thinking of what they're going to be. So you get your 6mm jump rings, which are going to be your connecting jump rings. Excuse me. You get your clasp and you get your crystal square. So basically the kits are the same throughout. The variation is whether you go for the gold or the silver and what color crystal. So the gold and the silver kits are going to be the same. You are going to get those etched jump rings, the plain jump rings, the clasp, the crystal square. So you have it in the plain clear crystal color, which is what is shown on this picture here. You then, of course, have your purple rainbow, which I've got the crystal here. It's absolutely stunning. And again, look at the difference, because it looks green, it looks blue on the picture, but when you see it in my hand, and I will show this up close in a moment. In fact, let's just do a quick switch for you to see. Look at this picture. So it's purple. This is the greeny blue. I mean, it's just such a gorgeous color crystal, this one. I absolutely love it. And then just for you to see, here is your clear crystal as well, and you can see that in situ here in this design. So you have that gorgeous rainbow effect there. Let's switch it back, and then you've got your, and again, this is with the gold colorway, and then you have the rainbow, which is this kind of beautiful green colored one here. Oh, I apologize, the other one was the purple rainbow. So the one I've just shown you is the one we've got here with that gorgeous sort of fuchsia pink color tones going through it, and the one that we had previously, so that's the rainbow, and this is the purple rainbow, and I can see that now that I've actually held this up into the light. Let me go switch over. So this is this one. You see that purple tone, those purple lights. It's got that gorgeous kind of teal green, and then when you hit those lights, you get those purple tones as well. Really, really gorgeous. Oh, there you go. Look at that. How beautiful is that? And that is the one that we've got there. And then the crystal that I showed you previously is the crystal in the second kit. So this one is your purple rainbow, and this is your rainbow. Okay, and then this is your clear crystal. And then let's go back over to the silver versions. They're exactly the same. You just have them with different rings. So this is with your silver jump ring kit. Exactly the same. You get your etched jump rings. You get your plain jump rings. You get your clasp, your crystal square. You have here your crystal square, as you can see. Let me switch back over. The crystal. Then you have your rainbow, which I believe I've got in situ here. This is your purple rainbow. I've got this one in place here. I'm going to have to have a word with that little French bulldog in a minute. That is purely Savannah being a monkey. I'm going to have a word with her. Good morning, Anne. How are you? Oh, come on, screen. Do your thing. There we go. So this is the one that we've got in the picture. You can see I love this combo as well, but then I love it with that plain classic silver crystal. Really is the look that you want to go for. And then of course finally you have that that rainbow version here as well, which is, so the greener one, this one is your purple rainbow, this is your rainbow. And again, exactly the same. You've got all those versions sat there for you. £5.50 for one bracelet, enough to make one bracelet. So I mean, I think that that's absolutely perfect. So oh, I love this. I'm sorry, Jan, I have to share this. This is a great message. Oops, all of these and the flower jump ring necklaces have just been purchased. Wow, that's amazing, Jan. You're going to have an absolute great time with those kits when they arrive. They're absolutely fantastic. And again, what a great combination, because the flower kits have, of course, got the lovely little micro crystals in with it as well. Why don't you mix them up together? Amazing choices there. So there is your kit, £5.50 for one of these bracelets. I just think that's an absolute steal. So let's go ahead and have a little look at what we've got in these kits. So as I said, you get these beautiful, and I am going to use the gold because I think you're going to be able to see that nice and clearly. You've got the gold here. Good morning, Anne. I'm not sure if I said good morning to you, but good morning. Lovely to see you today. Oh, I cannot open it today. So your jump rings, here they are. How gorgeous are these? In fact, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to do a bit of both, I think. So you have the gorgeous, I mean, just how gorgeous are these? They're just beautiful. There's a little section I started, obviously. I love that. Does anyone else do that? Start a little design project and then pop it back into the bag so that you don't forget. So that was past Laura being thinking this needs to be in a Helms. They're absolutely fantastic. Just to hold them both up for you to be able to see, hopefully. So they are kind of etched, almost like they've been hammered. This is the kind of effect that I would get if I was using a hammer. I'd flatten them slightly, so they are slightly flattened. So it would flatten them very slightly. Camera's being a little bit finicky going. I don't want to share it with other stuff. So you'll see there, they're a little bit flattened. They are textured on both sides. And again, as I think Elaine said, where's the join? I mean, as a single component, where is the join? How gorgeous are these? Where is that join? So I think that, you know, this is a great project. If you simply wanted to, let's say, I've got really random, but I've got a random little pearl just out of my desk. Everyone else like that, just have like random beads on their desk where they haven't tidied up properly. Imagine just a little drop on a head pin with the Mobius or a little, maybe a slightly larger bead, but you've got the lovely stardust beads that we've had in previous projects. These would look fantastic as a mix up. And I'm going to say, I've gone with the intention of this being a Helms bracelet, okay? But when we start to make this, I'm going to suggest something to you. Not everybody has, you know, wears jewelry, or if you're a little bit unsure. But I think that this makes a beautiful bookmark. If you were to add it onto like one of the bookmark hooks, imagine that just coming down the side. It's nice and flat. How beautiful would that be on the outside of your book to mark where your page is? So, right, that's just a side note I thought whilst I was working with it. Good morning, Pauline. Mina says, not ever tried the Helm weave, so something to try next year. Mina, missing out. It's a lovely weave. Now, I will say there are a couple of people. The weave itself is standard. The way that you do it visually, this is the Helm's weave. A couple of people do it in different ways. I do this way I feel is the easiest. I'm not gonna lie. And what's great about the Helm's weave is that you can break it up with a center focal piece. I mean, you can have this sat looking equal like this. I just love it on that angle. I just think that looks fantastic. So with this one, this is a project that you can kind of prep. I'm going to switch this so you can see this, the gold's just a bit easier to see. So I'm going to place this for you here for you to be able to see. Now, I think I've added a toggle clasp. I think you get a lobster clasp in the kit. You can, of course, switch that out for whatever you want to use as your clasp. A toggle or a, let me just quickly check what It says a clasp, so I'm not sure if it will be the toggle. I will clarify that. So you can see here that you can count this project, which is what I love about it. So I'm going to use a knitting needle because I happen to have one there, and that's why I don't knit. So you can see that we've got doubles. Let me come down a little bit closer for you to actually really be able to see. The sun is coming out today. That's a nice bit of sunshine. So this is done in 2 halves, and you'll see that it's in 2s and then a single in the middle. So I can go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4. So there's 14 jump rings on that one side, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single jump rings. So 14 and 6, there's 20 large jump rings, and then of course the 2 to connect your unit here. So there will be 22 large jump rings per side. Now that's just to make this particular size. It can of course vary per person, and the size, if you have smaller wrists, you're not going to use so many. That's going to give you some leftover jump rings. So it is variable. Of course, you may just want to do a section up to say maybe here and then do a little 2 and 2 chain. It's completely your choice. But for each side, we have 22. So that means that for the other side, I'm going to need another 22. And I'm not going to sound very clever and mathsy now. It's going to be 44. So you're going to want 44 of your large jump rings opened. And then you can, of course, count your smaller jump rings. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 12, 12, 24. So just so that you know, if you want to prep, you're going to need, I would probably have about 30 of my small jump rings closed and 44 of my large jump rings open. Okay, so Jan says that they would make a lovely Mobius. They would, and I will make one towards the end for you all just to show. So I'm actually going to go ahead and mix metal this one. I'm going to make the Mobius, the floating jump ring, the gold, silver, and I'm going to do the rest in gold. So when I say you want your jump rings to be open, I'm going to use my jump ring opener. I'm going to take my pliers, and now this is the fun part. We want to open these jump rings, and I need to kind of find that join, and that is a lovely solid jump ring. Where is that join? I don't know. So my tip is I sometimes just give it a little wiggle, and you see just when you wiggle it moved, and I'm like, there's the join. I'm just very gently moving it. So if I was at the wrong place, I'd be like, nope, because you can instantly feel that resistance. And then I can kind of go, there we are. So I can then come in, use either your jump ring opener or, of course, your 2 pliers and just open that out. So you can kind of just, I tend to go, nope. There we go. So it really is. That's how brilliant these jump rings are. Is just a matter of going, right, where is the join on these? I'm just going to go ahead. I've got random odd pliers, and I'm sorry. Oh no, I found a matching pair. So I was about to put odd pliers in. I'm not sure. You know, the other thing is you can have it in your hand. You give it a little wiggle. That was just pure luck that happened to be the right one. So I know that I needed 14 and 6 of my silver for this one. So again, so that joint brought the joint out for me there. So you'll see when you're doing this, you'll just be kind of like, sorry, Savannah's just booted Benny out of her bed. Right. So, you know, it really, there we are. So it really is. These are so fantastic, these jump rings. I would like to do more projects with them, definitely, because there's so much potential. Now, I think I should talk about the size of them. They are, I believe, I think they're about a 12 mil, because I'm just trying to find that joint. There we are. Because they are a lot bigger. Let me put it in comparison of, say, a 9 mil. So this is a 9 mil. And this, I believe it to be about a 12. I mean, look at that, sits in there beautifully. So I think that these are about a 12 mil. Absolutely fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So again, just trying to, so 8. The longest thing about this project really is probably the prepping. 9. Give it a little wiggle. Nope. This is how great they are. So if you did want to use them as that closed component, you're going to have that really great seal straight away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where are we? 12. Yep, that's right. I was like, is 11, 12 come after 11? And so just give that wiggle. 13 and 14. So we'll just do one side just to show you. And obviously the other side of mirror, 14. Okay, so there are my 14 jump rings, and I'm going to open 6 of my silver, and exactly the same way I'm going to find that cut in the exact same way and open that up. So 1. It's great, isn't it? 2. Just go very gentle when you're trying to find that opening, because you don't want to distort the jump ring, of course. 12. And so we were asking about how strong they are. I think you can see by me doing this just how strong these jump rings are, because they've had that additional process done to them, because they've been Mobius, I'm reading the message, because they've been textured. That jump ring in itself is going to be, I mean, look, my hand is shaking while I'm trying to bend that. They are strong, very strong. And even when you can even see when I'm just pushing to find that joint, it's very little movement that lets me know where that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then of course, finally, as I said, your small jump rings, you're going to need your smaller jump rings to connect them. And you do want these to be aligned properly. So again, I always say this, but for anybody who's new, when you get a jump ring out of a pack, do not assume that that jump ring is going to be closed perfectly, because it will not. You see how that's out of line? So I'm having to just go in and just give that a little wiggle and make that lined up. Now, if you are going two-toned, you could, of course, do 1 silver and 1 gold, or you might want it to be gold heavy or silver heavy, whatever your project will be. Now, as we worked out, we need about 12 of these nicely lined up, and you do want to take that time to have them just nicely lined up ready for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't take long, and it really does make a difference when it comes to putting your piece together. So 7, and then of course the fun part is putting it all together. So 8, 9, and all I'm doing is just kind of just taking it in my pliers, just giving it a really good 10. And even if they're looking quite sort of crossed over, just use your pliers and just give it a little wiggle. I think that should be about 12. Just do a couple more for fun. And I think if you do get your jump rings and you're sat down and you've got a quiet 5 and you maybe got a nice cup of coffee or tea or whatever your brew is, maybe just take the bag and just sit down. If you know you're going to do a project where you're going to need these to all be closed, maybe just take that moment and do the whole pack and just have them all nice and close. So when you do come to doing your project, you've got them ready. If that's about having a good scratch, it is. Yes, I do apologise. she's sweet, Savvy. You're a noisy little thing today. She's now currently washing her foot, and I do apologise. What would a life be without the entertainments of Savannah the French Bulldog? Maybe one day if I ever clear my desk properly, I'll get her to sit up on my desk and say hello, because she does love to sit and be involved in any kind of video chat as well. Okay, so now you've done all the hard work. Let's go into the main part of it. So I'm going to start off with my doubles. So I'm going to go in with my gold. Okay, because my silvers are going to be my floating jump rings. I'm going to move all these out of the way. So I've got my open gold jump ring, and I'm going to just take 4 of my closed small jump rings. I'm just going to call them small because they are, and pop them all on. 1, 2, 3, 4, closed. Paula, love those jump rings. They're beautiful, aren't they? I know, not just the most beautiful jump rings. So just take that moment and close that up properly and see how that just closes beautifully. Okay. 1 jump ring with 4 jump rings attached. Now I'm going to take another large jump ring. And I'm still with the gold, and I'm going to just collect all 4 that I've just added. So, and close. So we've got it looking like so. And then when you close it, you've got 2 jump rings with 4 small jump rings going through it. Now I'm now going to just move 2 of these jump rings out of the way. Now this bit's optional to do this now, but I'm actually going to take an open jump ring and collect 2 of these. If you've got a clasp ready, I've only got a silver, but I'm going to grab that silver anyway just to get it out of the way. You can of course go ahead and put half your clasp on, and that just helps you to have a sort of a handle and a start. I know it's wrong color and I apologize, but it gives you like a start, and now you can see that actually I've got my 2 jump rings here and I can start going down towards the center part. So if you haven't got a toggle, or you're not putting a toggle on, then you can of course just take a piece of wire or a large jump ring. I have some odd little aluminium large jump rings that I've made just out of some aluminium wire, and they're a great handle as well. Just something to separate that chain and make it clear what's happening. So the next thing we want to do, I'm just seeing if I can find the right thing now. Oof, come here. I'm just finding a tool that I have. Okay. What we want to do is I want to put my silver jump ring, and I want to basically go through the middle of the 2 large jump rings. So the 2 large jump rings are held together. It would still match as I'm using silver. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Camille. It would. So we had the 2 large jump rings here, and they are held together with the small jump rings. And what we're going to do is put this jump ring that I'm about to add is what we call an orbiting jump ring. And it's orbiting because it doesn't connect. These are connected. They're connected with small jump rings holding large jump rings. This one just is held in place by the jump rings. It doesn't connect to anything. And what this one wants to do is it's going to want to go right basically through the sandwich. So through these 2 jump rings. Okay. So I'm going to take my jump ring and I'm going to just very carefully go through straight across to the other side. And this says straight across to the other side. Oops, there we go. So it sits in the middle of those 2 jump rings. It's not connected to anything, and we're going to go ahead and close it, and it will stay in place because we have those small jump rings. So it will stay where it is, and that's what I mean by an orbiting jump ring. Like, it's held purely in place by the jump rings around it. It's not connected in any way. So it's like a floating jump ring or orbiting. Okay. So just to show you again, that is sandwiched in between the 2 large gold jump rings. It's gone straight through, and the 2 small jump rings are stopping it from going anywhere. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is we need to do 2 sides. So we're going to do the front side, turn the piece over, then do the back side as well. So we've got our 2 small jump rings here. I'm going to take another large jump ring, and I'm simply going to go through the 2 small jump rings, but on top of the silver. So it's the silver is behind the jump ring I'm about to add. And I'm going to, before I do anything else, I'm going to add 2 small jump rings to the large gold. And I'm going to close. A little wiggle, make sure that's meeting. Okay. So hopefully you'll start to see that pattern already. Now, obviously, this is loose and there's nothing to secure it. So if you get a knock on the door and you need to put it down and you go, oh no, where was I? It's very easy to go, oh yeah, no, I need to do that side now. So it's a really great weave in respect that, you know, you can really see your process. You don't get lost. Some chainmail weaves, you're a bit like, oh, where was I? This is quite very, very clear. So that's side 1. So we need to do side 2. So all we're going to do now, as our small jump rings are already in place, if you look at the first set, you've got your 4 small jump rings. Well, you can see here you have your small jump rings in place. So all we want to do is take a large gold jump ring and collect the 4 small. So I'm going to take this large gold jump ring and I'm going to go through the 2 and through the 2, and I'm going to sandwich that silver in the middle. So I'm going to collect, and I'm only going to go through the small jump rings. I'm not going to go through any other. And then I'm just going to collect the 2 that we added in the past step, and I'm going to close. And then give it a little shake. And then hopefully when it focuses, you'll see that that is now a stable unit, because these are, that jump ring is held in place. And again, you can see nothing is holding that in place other than those 2 jump rings in the middle. It's sandwiched in between and it's held in place with those small jump rings. And that is the first part of your unit. I mean, that as a little earring would be beautiful, wouldn't it? You could add a little drop just here, and that's a really lovely little focal drop. We're going to continue. So the next step is we want to add our silver jump ring, because we need to add our floating jump ring. If kind of try to think of it like this: if you've got 2 loose little jump rings on the end, you need to put a sandwich into the middle. A sandwich into the middle. Hello, Christine. Morning. As I'm fairly new and cracking on a bit, I wondered if you ever did printed instructions. We do. We sometimes will do instructions, Christine. We haven't for this particular project, but hopefully if you sit down and watch the project back, it will be quite clear for you. It's something I can look at trying to add, and maybe we'll revisit it with the printed instructions again a bit further down the line, definitely. But it is sometimes if it's a bit more complex, we do try to add instructions as well. Okay, so I've now got my next one, and I'm going through the middle, 1 and 2, straight through. And you'll know it's in place because you can just hold that new jump ring and everything stays, and close. That's in place. We're now going to pick up another large gold jump ring, and we're going to repeat the process. We're going to go through the 2 small jump rings. Remember, it's going on top of the silver. I'm going to add 2 small gold jump rings and close. We know that this needs another step because it's loose and there shouldn't be any loose jump rings. So we're going to turn that piece over, take another gold jump ring, straight through, and then collect those 2 loose jump rings. And this is all there is to this weave. You are now doing the helms. That is a complete unit. Now, it's complete when you have your sort of 2 single jump rings held together with either small or large jump rings. And the reason is because obviously, as we said, the single jump ring is a solo jump ring. It's held in place, so it needs something to lock it. Okay. So next stage again would be that silver, and you just give it a little. We're going to see how easy that will go through. What's great about this is the size of these textured jump rings, because they are that bit bigger. You're not fighting on a smaller ratio. You've got lots of room, lots of movement. This weave is a bit size specific, as in, you know, you can do, it does need that larger jump ring and then that smaller jump ring, but it does need to have the, if it's too if this jump ring was any smaller, it wouldn't have any movement, it would get too rigid. So you do need to just have that right ratio. But look how beautiful this is. You've got that movement, and I'll always give it a little bit of a sort of a wiggle, just to make sure it's moving how I want it to. And again, I love to sort of just sort of run your fingers over the piece and make sure if you haven't closed a piece properly, like I know I haven't closed that one properly, I felt it. So if I show you up close, you'll see I haven't quite closed that jump ring properly, but I felt that. So I will often sort of just, you know, go over the piece and just feel, and then you can just come back, give that a little wiggle, get that lined up properly. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Good morning, Anna. Anna says, good morning, everyone. This is so beautiful. Definitely going to give it a go. Lane says the two-tone is lovely, isn't it? Just, I mean, look at this. Is going to be my favorite combo. I do love your tealy greens, but look at that as your statement piece. How beautiful. And also, if you get a couple of these kits, imagine that as a necklace. You know, it doesn't have to be a bracelet. You can do whatever you want to do. Imagine this sort of as a center part of a necklace, and then just maybe some chain, or use your smaller jump rings and two it. So you've got lots of potential. I just think these kits are beautiful. And even look, you could even do a cascade of your crystals if you fancied being fancy. How gorgeous are these? I just love these. Or you could have them connecting like that as your centerpiece, and then have your helms. I just, so much goes through my mind with these. I find it a really inspiring kit. Jane says they're the best jump rings she's used. That's amazing. Great to hear, Jane. They are just gorgeous, aren't they? And I was just really excited to use these jump rings. I just saw this and thought I need to use these, and I hope to use them again in more projects because I just think they're really, really versatile. And I don't think you can have too many of these. I just don't think there are enough. So please definitely go check out. I mean, £5.50 for the kits to make a bracelet. I mean, absolutely gorgeous kits to work with. So remembering that this is loose, so it needs to be locked in. And so we're going to get down to this part here. Okay, collect all the way across, and then all the way across. Oopsie. That's right. And then close. Take your time with them. Don't rush them. Straight through the middle. And as I said, I mean, I've done this based on it being sort of 7 and 7. So I will say with a piece like this, I mean, that fits me probably a little bit too big. I probably could remove a link there. And so what you have to think about is if you needed to remove a link because of the weave being the way it is, I would have to kind of take this whole section off, and then so each side would be reduced by a large by 12 millimeters. So I would probably, that would be fine, and I would just maybe do a little bit of 2 and 2 chain. I keep saying 2 and 2, and I'm assuming, so I am going to show you what I mean by a 2 and 2 chain. So let's just have a quick look at this. We've got 1 2 3 4 5. I'm going to do this one as a 6 just to show you what I mean by the 2 and 2 chain instead. So bring that across, bring this one across. Now, I haven't added any small jump rings on this one. You'll notice that's because this is going to be my end piece to connect my crystal. So what I'm going to do is have my crystal in place. I think it has to be that one, actually. And I'm going to take my 2 large jump rings. Jan says she'll catch up later. My son is on his way to pick him up. Oh, have a lovely day, Jan. It was lovely to join us. I hope you enjoy your kits when they arrive, and let me know how you get on with them. So I've got my large jump ring here, and I'm actually going to connect, instead of those 2 small jump rings to connect on the end, I'm going to connect with the large. And the reason is because it has the depth to be able to go around the whole of that crystal, and of course the large 2 jump rings as well. So 1 jump ring too small. There we go. So we can go across and go across. You have lots of room, so it you know, you're not sort of fighting to get this around that crystal. It's got lots of lovely movement. So that is just one side, and this is what I was saying about potentially a lovely bookmark. Imagine that down the spine of a book. I haven't got a book to show you. I mean, heaven forbid, I don't have. I have a pad. Let's have a look at busy making plans pad. Imagine if you had just your standard hook, which I'm sure we do on Totally Beads. I will have a little sneak peek. In fact, we do. Let's have a quick look. This is what I mean. Just if you don't know, if you're thinking, you know, I want to give a gift to somebody, but I don't know what they wear, don't know their jewelry, don't know their style. We have these. Oh, wow, look at these. I'm going to have to just share my screen super quickly to show you exactly what I mean. But if you go over to the Totally Beads website, oh, these are out of stock at the moment. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to have to ask somebody to get somebody, but like if you've got a bookmark like this, if you've got any of these at home, a fantastic make as well. Keep an eye, hopefully they'll come back in stock because I think these would be a great alternative present to give. So a bookmark, something like that would be great, just coming from the book. But oh, Camille says the rainbow would look better. Yeah, I put that and I was like, oh, yes. Okay, so obviously what I would then do is repeat what we've just done here and just attach it to the other side. But what I wanted to do is just show you what I meant by a 2 in 2. So I'm going to take that clasp off now. 2 in 2 or 2 in 1. I'm going to come all the way down. So I just wanted to show you the length difference of just removing that one link and how that can affect it. So just for you to see, crystals are in the same place. Let's turn them over so they're pretty. So same place crystals. Can you see how much of a difference that just losing that one link will make? Imagine that on both sides because you need to mirror the lengths. You want them to be the same length. So that could significantly shorten your bracelet. So you could find yourself thinking it's too big that way, but it's too short that way. So a great alternative is a 2 in 2, and I will just explain that with your 4mm, 6mm. I call them 4mm because I go by the inside diameter of the jump rings. They're 4mm inner and 6mm outer. I'm going to put one open small jump ring and add on 2 closed, and then I'm going to add. I'm going to double up. Now you could go 2 1 2 because you do have that pattern in the Helms. So you could go 2 1 2, or you can just double up where I'm just going to take another small jump ring and collect those 4 closed, and that will simply give you a 2 4 6. You can add them individually if you want to, or you can do what we call speed weaving. So adding individually is where you go 1 2, you add on 2, you add 1, and then the second one, and you just do that each way. So add 2 on to the end of the chain, and that's going to give you that adjustable length either side. Really nice. Good afternoon from Spain. Well, good afternoon. So you can see, or as I said, you can pick up a closed jump ring, an open jump ring, sorry, a small one, as I just did. Add on 2 closed, add it onto the end of the chain, and double up. So add it on. This is what we call speed weaving because you're saving a bit of time, but everybody does things differently and it's your choice of the way you'd like to do this. But you would just then double up that single jump ring. So through and through. So that is how you can add that additional bit of length onto it if you wanted to. Come on, camera. And that would be your piece. So you would just mirror this. And yeah, I absolutely love this 2-tone effect. How gorgeous is that? And you could just make that a bit more bespoke to fit your wrist a little bit better if you wanted to, especially if you do have a slightly smaller wrist. And again, another option is to just have a little section either side of the crystal in your Helms and then do your 2 and 2. So lots of options with this. Absolutely beautiful jump rings. Let's just very quickly go over the kits again just for you to see exactly what you do get. You do go to totallybeads.co.uk. You, when it catches up, are you joining? There we go. You go to Facebook but you go to the video tutorials, you've got your social media links at the top, and then you just scroll down and you will see we are here. We are the Helm Square Crystal Bracelet, and you'll see there is the video tutorial that will show you how to make this project, and here are your variants. So there are 3 colorway options in the silver and the gold. The only difference is the color of the crystal that you choose. You will get the same findings and jump rings in each kit, just in different colors, and it's just different crystals that you can choose. So you have your half silver, your purple rainbow, and your rainbow, which we do have down here for you to see. So if I said your half silver, your rainbow, and your crystal rainbow, I would just switch the camera quickly for you to see those. Ooh, come on. Doesn't want to play the game for me today. There we go. Half crystal, your purple rainbow, which looks green there, but I promise you I see the purple. If I hold this up, hopefully you'll see it. There you go. You get that perfect, beautiful purple. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Real duochrome effect on these. And then, of course, your rainbow. So you get those. You then, of course, get those gorgeous etched jump rings, your plain jump rings, your clasp, and your square. So that's what you're in your kit for £5.50. What a gorgeous kit. Okay, so I am going to, there are your 3 colors in gold, your 3 colors in silver. Mix them up, you know, choose a couple and mix them up. That's going to be fantastic. So Sheila has just said, could I show how to make a Mobius with it? Okay, very, very quickly. So let's just go for 3 gold and 2 of the silver. So I'm going to do this just very quickly. She says, just got to find that join. There we are. So I'm going to take an open jump ring and I'm going to pop on a closed. And I'm going to place that down. And you've got, I mean, ooh, imagine that. How cute is that? Just those 2 mixed. Let's see if I can get the camera any closer. Okay. So you've got those. How pretty is that? So I'm going to take another gold. I'm going to open it. And I'm going to just go through, pick it up, close. And there's your 2 gold and your silver. And then maybe we'll just, there we go. Open straight through the middle of all of them. And close. Oh, the dogs are off again. And when I do that, you know, so I put it back and then bring it back together like so. Another gold. So I'm going to pick the whole unit up, put my jump ring straight through the middle, close that jump ring, and then I hold it back in my hand and then just push that into place. And we have, let's pop on one more silver. Benny! I do apologize. Last open silver, straight the way through. Make sure you collect all of those jump rings. Now I have got 6 jump rings on here. Okay, and close. Hold it in your hand, push it back together, and there is. How gorgeous is that? There you go. How gorgeous is that as a Mobius? And then what I would do is probably, depending on your jump ring sizes, now I've got quite a lot of jump rings on here. I don't know if there's going to be too many for a 4 mil. So I mean, if you have chain, you would be able to pop that directly onto a chain. I've got a bit of wire here just to sort of, you could feed that directly onto a chain and have that so it would sit as a chain. Or you can, of course, just pop it. You would probably need a slightly larger jump ring just because of the depth of these. So I would probably say look at the 8 mil jump rings on our website, of course. and then just maybe scoop them all up, and then add a small jump ring on top. I would wear this as a pendant. I think this would make a beautiful pendant. So this is something you can maybe make with your leftover beads. And if you wanted to get fancy, and let's if we're committing to this, let's commit. Ooh, okay. This is why I'm not allowed to go rogue. Let me just do one more. Oh, come on. I need to would be gold. I'm just getting the right jump ring. So it's going to be too big. Actually, just use one of these, couldn't we? So I would then be tempted to do this. Let's just go, because you have these beautiful colours. Let's do this. There you go. How is that for a beautiful pendant on a nice chain? I think that would be gorgeous. I would love to. So if you multi-bought and bought a silver and a gold version, you could either have the same color crystals, so you match, or you could choose different color crystals, and you could have your bracelet, and then you could have your matching pendant. How gorgeous is that? I think that looks beautiful myself. So there you go. That's your kind of option. So don't forget to go check out those kits. As I said, £5.50 on the kit. Enough to make a bracelet. Absolutely beautiful kits to work with. Gorgeous limited textured jump rings in your silver and your gold. Love the mixed colors, so please go ahead, I mean, at that price, £5.50, grab one of each, and let me know how you get on. As always, I'd love to see what everyone gets up to. That would make a lovely earring. Absolutely, Carol. So many ideas. How inspirational is this kit? Thank you, Camille. Says great tutorial. Thanks, lovely. Thanks, Laura. Loving this set. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. And again, yeah, everybody have a fantastic weekend. I hope it's not too cold or chilly or wet. And enjoy your weekend. I'm off to Godolphin for my weekend. I won't be back for a couple of weeks now, so I will be seeing you in December. So enjoy whatever you're up to this weekend. Let me know, as always, how you get on with these kits. I am on Facebook as Laura Binding. And